Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the life and legacy of a man who quite literally changed the world of medicine, Sir Alexander Fleming. You may know his name from your biology textbook, or perhaps from a history of antibiotics. But the true story behind his discovery of penicillin is far more fascinating and more accidental than you might expect. Let's explore the life, work, and incredible impact of this Scottish scientist who saved millions of lives, often without ever meeting the people he helped. Alexander Fleming was born on August 6, 1881, on a remote farm in Lichfield, Scotland. He was the seventh of 8 children in a humble farming family. His early years were spent surrounded by nature, animals, and a strong work ethic that would follow him for the rest of his life. After attending local schools, he moved to London at the age of 13 to live with his older brother. Fleming initially worked as a clerk in a shipping office, but faith and perhaps a little encouragement from his family led him toward medicine. He enrolled at St Mary's Hospital Medical School in London, where he would spend most of his professional career. Fleming was particularly gifted in research and laboratory work. He earned a degree in medicine in 1906 and quickly became involved in bacteriology, a relatively young field at the time. At St Mary's, Fleming joined the inoculation department under Sir Alexander Wright, a pioneer in immunology and vaccine development. Wright had strong opinions, and though he was often controversial, his mentorship helped shape Fleming's career. Fleming's early work focused on antiseptics, infections, and immunity. He developed a reputation for being meticulous, curious, and quietly brilliant. During World War I, Fleming served as a captain in the Royal Army Medical Corps. He witnessed firsthand the terrible effects of infected wounds and the ineffectiveness of common antiseptics. This experience profoundly influenced his future research. He saw that antiseptics often did more harm than good by killing the body's natural defenses along with the bacteria. This insight pushed him to explore new ways of fighting infection. Now to the part of the story that made Fleming famous, his 1928 discovery of penicillin. It was late September, and Fleming had just returned from a vacation. As he was cleaning up some petri dishes that had been sitting out during his absence, he noticed something odd. On one dish, colonies of Staphylococcus bacteria had been destroyed in a circular pattern except around a patch of mold. This wasn't just mold, it was Penicillium notatum, a common household mold. Where the mold grew, the bacteria couldn't. Fleming realized that the mold was releasing a substance that killed the bacteria. He called this substance penicillin. But as groundbreaking as this was, the world didn't immediately change. Fleming published his findings in 1929, but the scientific community didn't take much notice. The substance was unstable and hard to isolate. Fleming didn't have the tools or resources to turn penicillin into a usable drug. Still, he had lit a spark that others would later fan into a flame. A decade later, in the late 1930s, researchers at Oxford University, Howard Florey, Ernst Boris Chain, and Norman Heatley picked up where Fleming left off. They refined the extraction and mass production of penicillin. By 1941, penicillin was being used to treat infections in soldiers during World War II. It became known as the wonder drug, and its impact was immediate and enormous. Wounds that would have meant death or amputation were now treatable. Mortality from bacterial infections plummeted. Though Fleming didn't invent penicillin as a drug, his role in discovering it was critical. In 1945, he shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine with Florey and Chain. Fleming spent the rest of his career continuing research and speaking about the dangers of antibiotic misuse. He was well aware of the possibility of bacterial resistance and even warned about it in his Nobel lecture. He received numerous honors, including a knighthood in 1944, and he remained modest about his achievements throughout his life. Fleming died of a heart attack in 1955 at the age of 73. He was buried in St Paul's Cathedral, a rare honor, shared by some of Britain's greatest figures. It's difficult to overstate how important Fleming's discovery was. Penicillin marked the beginning of the antibiotic era. Before antibiotics, even a minor cut could lead to deadly infections. Surgery was dangerous, childbirth was risky, and diseases like pneumonia and tuberculosis were often fatal. Thanks to penicillin, life expectancy soared. Millions of lives were saved. The door was opened to a whole new field of medicine. But with great power came great responsibility. Overuse of antibiotics has led to resistant strains of bacteria, something Fleming predicted. His work not only saved lives, but also laid the groundwork for future scientific responsibility. Alexander Fleming didn't set out to change the world. He was curious, persistent, and just a little lucky. But when opportunity knocked, or, in his case, when mold grew, he had the insight to pay attention. His discovery of penicillin revolutionized medicine and continues to impact our lives every day. Fleming's story is a powerful reminder that science isn't always about big moments or dramatic experiments. Sometimes, it's about noticing the small things, the unexpected things, and being brave enough to ask why. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who loves science, history, or just a good story. Until next time, stay curious.